So the video title, Asmongold reacts to WoW boosting, how Blizzard earns millions doing nothing by Bellular. Millions! And this is about boosting. 1.5 hours. Yeah, but we get Asmon's input as well.
Boosting. It's the multi-million-dollar industry that sometimes verges into grey market that we all see but few understand. So, what exactly is boosting?
WoW boosting exposed. This is a video I've wanted to watch for quite a while. I want to watch it because boosting in WoW has been a cock in the ass for a long time. And the problem is that it just keeps getting bigger. It becomes more optimized, soulless, more...
Yes. Yeah, that's the sad part. It'd be optimizing more and more. And we're part of the problem. If we didn't boost, you know, if nobody boosted, then we'll be fine as well, right? But what can you do?
It's not good. So we're going to look into this and see what's going on.
But listen, the reason we're boosting is not because we want to do it. Actually, it starts like this, okay? First, you play the game and you get better and better at it. Eventually, you reach a state where you're like, damn, I'm so good. And other people are looking up to him and they're like, wow, damn, you're so good, dude. And then they ask you, can you boost me? And you do it for a couple of friends and you know, you think it's fine. It's like the starting drug, right? When you're at parties and you only smoke weed at parties. No, it's all completely fine. Or actually, wait, before the regular fund, it's one of them missing. They're lacking a person. They're like, yeah, we have only 10 people and we need 12 to boost. You want to come in? One of your friends asks you, you go in there and you're like, damn, boosting. Holy fuck, I'm so good. I'm boosting nowadays. So you feel good about it. You're like, first boost is free. Yeah. So you go in, you're like, damn, I'm making gold because I'm such a skilled player. You start to feel good about yourself, about your skills. You're like, damn, holy fuck, these guys are so newbie. I'm so good. I'm gonna boost them, and then you brag with it a little bit. That's the gateway boost. Yeah, exactly. It's like a small boost, you know, maybe one boss, maybe a quick like heroic swoop or something like that. And then eventually you get better and better at the game, and you start to realize, the gold that I have is not enough. I need more gold. You can't do anything else aside from boosting to make that gold. So you're like, okay, you know, little boost session, a couple hours here and there, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. But then it gets to a state where you can no longer do anything without boosting. And you just keep boosting and boosting nonstop. And you still are in debt. You're still in debt because you have to spend that gold to get better in the game. And to get better, you need to get more gold. And there's no cap to it. It's an endless cycle. And the only person that's able to stop this is Blizzard. Please, sir. Please. Bill Gates, I don't know. Jeff Bezos. He's not even really Elon Musk. Just get involved and fix this shit, please. Hi?
What exactly is boosting? Is it a valuable activity born of natural player interaction in an MMO? Or...
Yeah, I think it is. I think the problem with boosting is the fucking WoW token. I think boosting's totally fine if people are earning the gold. I like the idea and the RP of a big fat fucking goblin like Gallywix being chauffeured around by raiders because he overpaid them. I think that's RP right there. That's MMO. But
That is not MMO. That is not fucking MMO, dude. I see. I mean, it is an MMO, but I don't think it's good, yeah?
Problem is that it's not Gallywix. It's David, that works in accounting, who's got an extra $20,000 every year, and he keeps buying mythic mounts with real money. It's David doing this shit wrong. It's not Gallywix, it's David. David from accounting. That's my general.
David is even worse. Yeah, that's true.
Is that if you earn the gold, it's fine. If you buy the gold, it's not. And if you can buy the gold in the game, you're gonna buy the gold in the game. Why do you care what those people do with their money? Because it creates an economy for something that devalues the accomplishments of legitimate players through the use of real money. It's an MMO. I do not buy into the idea that an MMO, it doesn't matter what other players do in the MMO. I think that it does matter what other players do.
A pay-to-win plague that is ruining WoW's endgame in ways that we cannot even imagine.
Yep. True.
Well, the answer really is a bit of both. But how does it actually happen and why? To find this out, we spoke to figures in the boosting community.
Thank you.
Some for, some against, even including pretty high up members. Today, we bring boosting to light. We're starting by talking about how it works and the actual business behind it, as well as Blizzard's frankly shocking management of issues such as RMT.
Really? Is it really shocking? To who? Who's shocked? Video's kind of loud. Okay.
To the point where even boosters are quite frustrated at them. This video is only part 1. Soon, we will have part 2.
Oh my god.
Focused on the design problems that have caused boosting to be a big problem, and the in-game implications that we are all seeing.
Yeah.
In many cases, we were, quite frankly, astounded by the professionalism and the incredible setup of these boosting communities.
Well, this is the same thing whenever I used to do boosting back in Cataclysm. Like, you want to treat people right, you want to have everything go the right way, because it's usually a peer-to-peer referral business. Like, yeah, you're making...
One thing I don't understand about boosting is I'm so confused by why, like, do you guys think that any boosting community does not do what they do to RMT it later? Like, why would you build a boosting community if you don't RMT? Because every time we get approached by boosting communities, they're like, no, sir, not us. Partner up with us. We don't do RMT. We have nothing to do with them. Really? Not at all? But you're getting a cut from this gold. Like, what do you do with the gold? Like, there's only a certain amount of things you can do, and eventually you're just gonna have too much. So what are you gonna do? And like, people want to buy it, and you're like just saying them no. You have the ability to move around all that gold. You know, it wouldn't even be suspicious because you're giving people gold for boosting anyways. You can just say, yeah, he boosted for us. Like, there's no way to prove it that you RMT'd, basically, unless somebody was like to whistleblow on you. And even then, they can't really prove it if you do it, you know, properly. I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's always like they're really strictly against RMT when they contact me, yeah? That's why we don't partner up with a boosting community. We do work with them because we have to get boost somehow. But like we don't put our name next to them, really, because we're scared that, you know, in the end, if there's a scandal or something, we don't want to be anything to do with it.
Advertisements out there and, you know, sending it out there. But the way you really get a lot of your money is whenever you do a sale for somebody and they're happy and they tell their friend. Or you do a sale for somebody and they're happy and they come back for another sale. That's what the majority of it is. It's the essence of the 80-20 rule, where you get 80% of your business from 20% of your customers. It manifests itself in all kinds of different ways, but especially whenever you're making sales, it's especially true. And also whenever you're making sales and doing things, this is the same thing. Like, if you're buying and selling things illegally in real life, it becomes much more important to have those positive interactions, because you don't have the opportunity to rely on a governing apparatus.
Asmon's going to deep stuff
to make things fair. So you have to rely on trust. You have to rely on goodwill, much more actually, whenever you're dealing things like that. You know, like, if you get scammed on a deal and it's an illegal deal, you're not going to go to the cops. You've got to work this out.
And if you want others to feel like that about you, you're going to need a great website with today's sponsor, squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming, where you'll get a free trial, and code Bellular Gaming will get you 10% off your first purchase.
100%.
Just use that link down below.
Yep.
Now, it's real simple. Squarespace are the fastest and easiest way for you to get a great...
It's the video, by the way. It's not my fault, boys. Asmon is very quiet. The video is very loud. I don't know. He fucked it up.
Looking site built quickly.
Wow.
I mean, I threw together this showcase site in about 40 minutes.
Amazing.
As you've heard, chilled out, reclining with my iPad on the sofa.
Imagine that.
And it barely took any time to even add e-commerce to it. Incredible. Their award-winning templates are simply awesome. They just let you hit the ground running with something that looks great. And that's brilliant for somebody like me who's not a designer. But of course, you've got all that room to customize later. Now, your site is what people see of you online, so if you want your portfolio to stand out, then a gorgeous, clean, and content-first site is what you need. Of course,
That's
though,
impressive.
there is far more. Do you want a
there
site
is.
for
Oh my
your
gosh, I
business?
can't believe it.
Maybe a personal site.
Wow.
Maybe you're doing some e-commerce. They've
It's
even
unbelievable.
started
Maybe.
a
Can you
new
believe that?
memberships feature
I
as
might
well.
do
If
it.
you want to try that.
Wow.
They've got the excellent site builder.
Maybe we design the
easy-to-use
Echo merch
tools,
website
incredible
later with this. Who
templates.
knows?
Wait,
It's
there's
all
more.
you need to get started. So start your free trial at Squarespace.
Look at him. He's like not skipping to be respectful, but he's like, wait, there's more. Okay. It's eventually gonna end.
/Bellular Gaming and use that code Bellular Gaming to get 10% off your first purchase.
Just do it, boys.
Thanks to Squarespace for
Isn't that
supporting
great?
this big old.
I love I love how y'all complain. There are some people complain about it, like they're mad. Like this guy makes a 37-minute video that's edited, scripted out, and fucking everything, and you're gonna get your dick in a knot because you have to sit through a 1-minute ad, a 60-second fucking promotion. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I'm happy he got paid. Yeah, there it is. Cause he's greedy? Oh, I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're not at all. Yeah, you're definitely not.
Fun investigation, and let's get into it.
Okay.
So, why would
Here we
people
go.
boost? World of Warcraft has, for years, been built around extrinsic rewards and material goals first. Rewards carry prestige among the community, which was always a testament to how World of Warcraft worked excellently as a virtual world.
Yeah.
But once the desire for reward outweighs the desire to do the content, there will be a market for those who want the reward without the work.
I can't
good.
think of
There are
anybody like
always
that.
a few stories to tell in a market. The buyer in this case is perhaps somebody who wants Keystone Master, who wants Curve, or
Yeah.
a stack of loot without as much effort.
Imagine
Then
that.
there's this
The thing is that the people that are boosting, they're good enough at the game usually that they can get those things themselves. It's very rare that somebody that's boosting also buys boosts. So what do they do with all that gold? For us, it's really just buying raid items and BOEs. But for some people, like I know that, people like Narco or somebody like, they do buy mounts, but yeah, they must be RMTing, right? Like most of them. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
the seller, someone who will put that effort in on the buyer's behalf, but they, of course, need their own rewards.
Yeah, they got to get
That
something
will
out
be the
of it.
buyer's gold. Gold for raid consumables, for legendaries, for gold sinks like the black market auction house,
Yep.
and maybe even some gold to sell on the side for a bit of real money.
Imagine that.
There's more to
No
the
way.
motives and the market. A lot more. And that's how we get to the multi-million-dollar situation. But to understand that, you'll first need to actually understand what it's like on the inside.
All right, let's see. It's a
The
drug
quickest way to
cartel?
explain
Yeah,
it is
sure.
like this. When you've got buyers and sellers, they need to be matched up with each other. So this has made boosting communities like Hukan, Starlight, and
Yep.
Oblivion crop up to do just that. Think
Yeah,
about
these communities basically, it's like imagine each one is run by a goblin trade prince or a conglomerate of goblin trade princes that basically connect Davids with Billy's that plays the game 47 hours a day, and he can do Mythic Sylvanas with his eyes closed. Well, it gets Billy to talk to David, and then David gives Billy money, and then Billy kills the boss for David. It's that easy. So this is effectively what these things do.
how Uber works. All you have to do is tell the app where you want to go, give them some money,
Yeah.
and they will handle the rest
And they get a
using the
small
available
fee.
drivers in their pool. That essentially is what boosting is like now. You send a request through to the community via
Yep.
an advertiser on Discord or in-game. That advertiser then logs your request, and a call is put out for boosters.
Yep.
Boosters respond to that call, and before long, there you go. You have a group set up. You can hop onto a Discord channel to talk about the specifics, and at the end, you can actually review your boosters based on your experience. You pay the gold to the advertiser, who hands it over to the boosting community. The boosting community
easy.
then tracks everybody's activity via Discord bots and spreadsheets.
This is like literally a job for itself, by the way. Like the people that lead boosting communities, they basically have a job, like a full-time job. No joke. Like a real thing. And it's not even one person usually working there. It's crazy. Yes, like an accountant job. Yeah. But not just accountant. They also have like customer relationships, right? If somebody is like unsatisfied, they can go to a person in that boosting community and say, okay, I don't like the service of this guy, and this guy notes it down and tries to satisfy him, maybe gives him a free boost. Like, okay, you didn't like the service, we're gonna give you guys a free boost, like like the supermarkets do it. Our product was broken, okay, you can get a $15 thing to buy another item of our store, or a discount code or something like that. It's crazy. Like this is like a real business.
And to be honest, like something like this, it's not that hard to do. Like everybody has like, they're like, oh man,
I literally talked about how it's a full-time job, and he just said it's not hard to do. What do you mean?
This is so hard, I can't figure it out. It's not hard to do. Like you just have an Excel, spreadsheet. You put everybody's.
No, that's not true. That's not true. It depends on how large your boosting group is. I mean, it's not okay. It's not. You don't have to have 900 IQ, but there's a lot of work to do. If as your thingy grows as well, you need to make sure that the customers are happy, that your boosters are happy. You might have too many boosters, and they don't get enough, boostees. They don't get enough customers, so they're sitting there. Heroic Sylvanas boost tonight, but you've boosted it. You killed it in 15 minutes, the boss, and you're ready to go for it again. But there's not enough customers. What do? You need to get more advertisers. Like it's definitely not that hard. It's definitely not that easy.
His fucking name in the Excel spreadsheet, and you just calculate it out. Like it's literally below accounting 1. It's not a big deal. I used to kind of do a little bit of this because I tried to do like my own little miniature boosting community in Kel'Thuzad, where I would find buyers for other people, and then I would try to skim money off the top. But I found that like doing that, like the effort involved was not worth it because I didn't have enough people that I could sell to. I was doing it for gold. Like wasn't doing it for real money. Scalper? No, the thing is like I would try to scalp. Look, man, I try to get, dude, I had to get whatever. If I can get it, I get it. That's all there is to it.
Dish out everybody's salary, and then the community keeps a portion for themselves.
Yeah, there you go.
Boosters get a cut, but so does the advertiser.
Exactly.
They set it up after all. During that run, if a booster makes a mistake, they will often be investigated, perhaps fined, or given a strike.
Yeah.
If they get too many strikes, they'll be fined.
They're out.
And that means that you'll only ever be boosted by people who have been proven and curated. Which does sound...
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, of course this happens. Because it's bad. Because I remember Jeff, oh my god. Jeff would mess up the carries sometimes, and then I would have to go back and talk to the buyer again, and like I would have to talk them off a cliff because
this is the customer relationship part. Yeah,
they weren't gonna buy anything from us anymore because Jeff messed up the run, and so now we're not gonna get any money. And so I'm like, oh my god, this happened. So like, yes, like it's so important because a lot of the people, you gotta also remember, is a lot of the people that are buying these boosts, they don't have a lot of time. That's why they're usually buying the boosts. So they want to have their shit done faster.
True, but at the same time, actually not necessarily always true. Sometimes. Some of them have, like, it's usually, they either have a lot of time, or they have very little time. Because some of them are, like, insanely rich. Dude, there's stuff that I cannot talk about, but I remember I was boosting a guy so hard that I skipped work. Like, I called... Oh, yeah. One of us quit his job. We had a guy, like he literally quit his job so he can boost more. It was so much better. Those were the good times, dude.
Great. Also, most of these services actually do involve you playing. So you actually get to experience
professional
the content,
ability,
albeit with a bit less challenge and a lot less stress.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, it's a lot like randomly getting an insanely good group in the group finder, but reliable, repeatable, and on demand.
Imagine that.
So to sum it up, they've made it convenient, low risk, and professional. Hell, if your run goes wrong, you could even get a refund.
Yeah.
These communities have moderators, they have customer support staff, and of
course... And the reason why you can get a refund is it's a buyer's market. There's a lot more people that are unemployed who can kill Mythic Sylvanas than people with a bunch of real-life money who are looking to buy Mythic Sylvanas. So that's what it is. It's a buyer's market. So if you fuck up, they just replace you with somebody else real quick. Like, real quick. That's it. It's done. Is he complaining about boosting or advertising for it?
I don't know. About Mythic Sylvanas, I don't think that's true. Heroic boost, yeah, but I think especially early Mythic weeks, it's quite hard to get good running groups. Usually the top teams, they do get decent amount of gold early weeks, and it's not really that easy to replace them because nobody else can clear it. Like, they're literally progressing still. So, but yeah, regarding heroic, for sure. Nowadays, especially, heroic boosts are so cheap that some of us actually did buy a boost on their characters. Like, Mez was telling me he bought a boost on his alt because, you know, he just went in there, paid 80k, and just full heroic gear was definitely worth it. Which, you know, much better than doing it yourself. Because we're also trying to play it optimally, right? We don't care about the achievement of clearing heroic. We already cleared heroic a million times for boosting. But yeah. Usually you squeeze your character into some heroic boost groups yourself. Like when you're boosting with a team, you're like, yo, boys, can you just get me in? Or into the viewer runs. But yeah, if none of them are happening, you just pay 80k. And you get all loot traded and stuff.
It's not about... Let me tell you something. I don't hate the player. I hate the game. What do you think? Yeah. I make a video on this and now everybody's going to start boosting? That's already been happening. Like, the reality is that if Blizzard cared about this, they could stop it. Like, Blizzard could probably hire 3 people. That's a lot for them. But they could hire 3 people, and they could solve this problem pretty much entirely. Yeah. Like, over 90%. But they're not going to...
No, Blizzard doesn't not give a fuck. That's the wrong part, and that's what the video is about as well. I'm very curious to see Bellular's data on this, but he's saying that Blizzard earns millions from this. They don't not care. They encourage it. For them, it's great that people buy boosts, because that means people buy WoW tokens. And those WoW tokens go into the hands of, you know, hardcore raiders. They pay that gold to buy BOEs that go into the, like, most casual people's hands. They go and buy either mounts and stuff, or again boosts, or they buy game time. Very often it's about game time, right? They buy game time. That's how the money gets traded from everybody who is playing the game for fun mostly and for boosting. It goes into the rich hands again, and it's like this endless cycle, you know. The rich guy gets the WoW tokens, buys boosts, goes into pro players' hands. They buy BOEs, goes into the casual people that can farm BOEs, or, you know, sometimes they buy gold sync stuff and stuff. And then out of these two, while the pro players and the a bit casual but still BOE farmers that, you know, whatever, like the people that basically make gold, while they buy game time because they don't want to pay for the game, and then it goes again into the rich people's hands. Rich? Yeah. I bet Rich is buying WoW tokens, dude.
Gonna do that because they don't care.
Dirty boy.
And if they don't care, then why the fuck should I care? How could Blizzard stop boosting? Just ban people that do it. Suspend them that do it. It's easy. What do you mean? You couldn't figure out who's boosting?
Nah. What I would do is even like, I don't think boosting itself is bad, right? You could boost a friend for no money because you like to do it. You might be like, yo, let me help you out. And boosting in a sense is just helping somebody, right? I think that's fine. Like if I help somebody, that's completely fine. I might help my friends. I might boost them and plus. I often level boosted my friends back in the days for no money, no gold, just because we were homies. The problem is that people are encouraged to boost and buy boosts with, you know, trading gold. And I think the best way to solve that, now you can't say like, yeah, let's just suspend it. But I think the best way to do it is just remove the incentive of buying and selling boosts, especially selling boosts, because right now there's a big incentive in selling boosts, like massive incentive, because you need that gold. You have to get that gold somehow. And the best way to get it is by boosting. Now, would it be better for the game in general, if the incentive was still there, but you like instead went fishing in game and picking flowers in game, yeah, probably still better than boosting. But that's really hard to prevent. Then you need to suspend, and people will try to do it. There's always going to be some way of doing it. Worst case, people might even go more into RMT again and then get money and use that money to buy gold because they need the gold. Like the gold is just needed for something, right? And that's and you have to have that gold. So I think the best way would be to make gold less relevant or requiring less gold to play the content that you want to play. This would get rid of a lot of boosting. Like we would literally just stop boosting. You would just get it maybe 1 or 2 boosts to get your consumables done, and that's it. You wouldn't sit there and just like talk to boosting communities or something. Like what the fuck? I don't understand. Aren't everything in WoW Professionalism were dumbed down like FF14? You really spend tons of gold for food, pots, etc. Food and pots and stuff. Yeah, you do spend a decent amount of gold for like a new player. It would be a ridiculous amount of gold, but it's not even like a percent of what we really spend it on. The main gold sink is BOEs by far, and it's not even close. If they just remove that, nobody would be selling this many boosts. No shot. Not even close. And then suddenly the buyers would be higher, and they wouldn't find any people that want to boost really. Well, not just with BOEs, but I think there should be other changes as well. Limit spend a gold cap for the first tier of SL for just consumables. Gold cap is really low. Like 10 mil is like nothing. I think we spent like 300 mil or something. I mean, I guess it's still more than 1%. I don't think we even spent 10 mil. But like, it's really low. 10 mil is like one good item. And we buy like 50 items. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, why do people even want to buy boosts? I don't really understand it. Like, this is a thing that I don't know the solution to. I know the solution to how to make people stop boosting. That's just by having gold be less relevant. I have no idea how to prevent people from wanting to buy boosts. I don't know. I don't know why people buy boosts. I have no idea. Like, so what? Like, you don't have time. You play, you work all day, you get home, and then you really want to spend that time that you have to buy boosts instead of trying to like progress yourself and stuff. Like, if somebody bought a power leveling service, I would understand it. Or like if they buy the like instant level stuff, because that's like boring content that you skip. But gearing and raiding is fun. And if you're not doing it for the fun, what are you doing it for? Like, once you have the gear, what do you do then? You're done with the game then. So you can just log off. Mounts and marks. Yeah, but it's the fun part getting those mounts. I mean, at least in my opinion. I don't know. It's a symbol of you earning that thing, right? In my opinion, that's the fun thing. But other people don't feel that way. I mean, it's literally like you're paying to get it. Like, I've never understood this, boys. I just don't get it. If you're getting a ritual thing that is like basically useless with money, that is supposed to show your skill of like you having beaten down this thing, but it doesn't show shit because you bought it. Why are you getting it? It's like buying a university diploma that you cannot use anywhere. Like, why would you buy it and then not be able to use it? It's just useless. Bro, when I first got into boosting, I was shocked. Boys, I'm not gonna lie. Back in the days, RMT was a thing. Everything was a thing. Account sharing, all the good stuff, okay? It was all in the game. And Blizzard didn't give a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck. And you just did it. And I would be completely shocked that I was getting like so much out of this. But yeah, like to this date, I'm confused about it. But anyways, let's keep going.
This guy, he joined this raid, and he gave the raid leader 8 million gold, and then they did Mythic Sylvanas. It's the first time he ever raided with this guild, and the guy that got Mythic Sylvanas, it turned out that he traded it to the guy that gave 8 million gold. Wow. I think that we might have a potential boosty boy here. Not enough evidence. Yeah, you never know. And he jumped off the platform and killed himself in phase 1. And they told him to do it in raid chat. Removing the token. Yeah, this will happen. Really, I mean, But there is
I
some
don't know.
truth
I don't
to
like
what you
the
guys,
idea
what
of
some people are saying in
suspending
chat,
boosts and that's
is
it.
that if you have the WoW token, it is almost impossible to stop this. Yeah, it's almost impossible to fucking stop this.
Sure.
Because you're going to have like smaller transactions. You're going to have items instead of the gold for transactions to bypass automated thresholds that create like a red flag on your account for it to be reviewed. Like it's always a cat and mouse game. But the reason is because you fucking put the mouse in there in the first place with the goddamn WoW token.
Advertisers. Also that you can have a good experience.
Imagine that.
They've got treasurers managing the gold. They have people running social media and branding. They have technical staff to set up the Discord bots and their management backend. It's a big operation.
I think
so
this is...
That's why people...
If you want to have my honest opinion, I think it's cool. Like, I do, because I did this on a really rudimentary level back in, like, Cataclysm. And a little bit in Mists of Pandaria. So, like, to see people doing it now, like, full tilt and being successful, it is kind of cool for me to see, even though I wish I wasn't seeing it. They have ads, too? Yeah.
Boost more now. It's not like doing something on a dodgy website back in 2008.
No, it's
not.
not.
Now, it is a very well-designed user experience.
Oh, yeah.
Now, to be clear, there is no doubt that boosting, in a way, perverts the very idea of aspects of World of Warcraft as a video game.
Yes.
And it is undeniably pay to win. But it's also a
Yes.
consequence of WoW being an MMO with player-driven services and rewards that people want, but can't necessarily...
I don't think that it's a result of any of that. I think that it is purely a result of being able to buy gold with real money. It's that simple. You can buy gold with real money. There we go.
necessarily attain. Not to mention the community's unwillingness to take a chance on unproven players. In fact, paying a booster to get the curve achievement on your...
Which, ironically, creates an even bigger problem with unproven players. Because now, you have people link ahead of the curve Sylvanas, you look them up on the armory, and that's the only boss they've killed. Isn't that interesting? So you have people faking achievements. There are so many people. It's actually ironic. People hate the idea of having to link an achievement to get into something. Well, now everybody buys all their achievements. So
that's true. That is one reason why people bought it. A lot of people that we boosted back in the days as well, they bought the boost purely to get the achievements so they can get into groups later. But man, that's so sad, honestly. That is kind of sad. I mean, if you're not getting into the groups, there's probably a reason why. That means you just have to go with a starter group, right? Like there should be progress groups. Like in Final Fantasy, you literally put the goal of the group there. And the goal is either duty completion or practice. In which case, practice groups would make a lot of sense. The thing is, WoW is so focused on doing things efficiently that anytime you waste practicing is ridiculous. What do you mean practicing? You need to clear this ASAP because you need to get into your M+ run right after. Farm 10 M+. After that, you need to go and do your dailies on your reputation. And then you need to go and farm your covenant renown on your, on the other covenants. And then you need to go with Thorgas and get that stuff done. Well, what do you mean? Like, do you think he has time for that? Once all that is done, he's going to go to an alt and do the same thing again. Like, there's no time to practice with some idiots, who doesn't have the achievement. Anybody who doesn't have the achievement is an idiot, to that guy. So, that makes sense. In that case, it does make sense to buy the boost. Yeah, and it's kind of sad. And that's only because this is only happening because of the game design. It is designed to be like this. It is designed to be hostile to players that are rather new and don't understand the game because fuck them, right? They're wasting your time because they're not good enough and you have so many things to do. But if you didn't have these forced things to do for player power, then and you had a bit less things to do, that maybe only the fun parts, and remove these non-fun things to do, then you would have so much more time to spend with your friends and maybe even form friendships in the game, show them how things are done. like, I would love to play with my friends, man. Like, I would love to play Heroic and Mythic with my friends, with my homies, you know, back from school, and the homies that I did Rapid Eye Movement with. I don't have time. Fuck them. I need to get my stuff done ready for the next patch, or, like, you know, farm boost people. Instead of playing with them, I could just boost, get gold, and spend that later to get myself gear for the next patch. And there's no end to it. There's literally no end to it. You can just keep boosting. And every time you play and you do something inefficient, it's a joke. Like, you're hard trolling. And you're not trolling just yourself. You're trolling your team. You're, like, letting your team down. It's really, really horrible design. I just noticed whenever we are boosting, we're actually working for Blizzard, because we boost to get stuff, but we spent that gold to people that bought WoW tokens who paid Blizzard. So we're basically working for Blizzard so that these guys buy stuff from us, right? They buy gold from us with money, but Blizzard gets the euros. What do we get? Game time. What? Kind of weird. I feel like we're paying more than minimum wage. Or, well, we're getting less than minimum wage. Something like that.
So you don't want to link achievements anymore because nobody trusts them. It's actually worked. They've gotten rid of it. Look them up on WoW progress and see how quick they died. Yeah, but, like, what are you gonna do? You want to fucking a letter of recommendation? Do you want 3 references that aren't?
Oh shit! I thought Asmongold the donation. Yeah, let's see. I'm really curious how much money this makes him. I want to get to that part.
What are you gonna spend all this fucking time for just to get an invite into Heroic? Nobody's got that fucking time. They only do that for guild invites for Mythic. Yeah. At least you send them a fax of your credit score too.
Your character early on in a raid tier could be the thing that unlocks you being able to do more actual raiding.
Yeah.
As odd as that may sound.
That's what people do. They buy Curve because if they have Curve, they can go in, they can get invited to raids.
That is, however, a topic for another day. Because right now, we need to discuss the actual boosting business itself, its many quirks, and its many warts. Alright, let's be frank. We've been talking to a variety of people, including boosters, management, and even the owner of Hukan. And they all had a lot to say. To clear up some misconceptions, though, let's define RMT, real money transaction, which usually applies to 2 things: paying directly for services, or paying directly for gold with real life money.
Yeah.
As we understand it, most of this is paid.
So, like, buying a WoW token is RMT. Like, that's really what it is. Like, I would say that RMT, in my opinion, like, the bad part of it is whenever you're able to make real money from playing the game. Because that's really what the issue is that the incentive for doing this is because people can get money and take it out of the game. Because you need both. You need people that want to put money into the game, and you also need people that want to take money out of the game. Because there's a lot of these people, like, let's look at this realistically. If you're boosting all day, well, you don't have a job, right? Because you're fucking boosting all day. So you need to get that money and sell it get the gold and sell it for real money. Yeah, neat life. That's what it is. That's the job. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Safeway won't give me food for WoW gold. Yeah, so they transferred over, and that's really the issue. Is that a lot less people would be boosting if they knew that the only thing they could get out of it is WoW gold. A lot of them boost because they know.
I don't know how much of it is true. Yeah, like to a degree, yes, for sure. And that's how it was in the past, right? If you put an RMT, there was really no reason to boost. That was like doing Warlords of Draenor, you know, until Legion, I think. And Legion wasn't that bad either, I think. Up until that point, you know, you boosted, you made your gold, and it was enough. You didn't really boost more. Like, what's the point? But then they made it so that if you wanted to be good, you had to spend a lot of gold. So now, and they really hard blocked RMT. They were like, RMT, you do that, you're gone. You're literally rip, 100% ban. So now a lot of people stopped RMTing actually, and they're still boosting though. a lot of people that are like I'm not saying boosting communities, but boosters in boosting communities, they don't do it to RMT. A lot of them don't RMT anymore. They do it because they need the gold. You have to get gold. Like, we are boosting so hard, especially when after the first week full heroic, because that's the most profitable time, because the other boosters are busy because they don't know how to boost it, because we're a bit ahead of them in terms of gear and in terms of tactics. So we're still boosting like crazy. And it's not because we're making RMT out of that. No, it's because we need the gold. So what Blizzard made there is, at the end of VOD, they noticed, well, there's a lot of people RMTing in our game. So let's change it up a little bit. Let's make it so that the good players, their incentive for boosting isn't to make money out of it, but instead, they need that gold to be good. So now they cut off the RMT part, but then they took it to themselves by introducing the VAR token. So now the people that were good, they were boosting not to make RMT, but to pay their VAR token, and then that went again to the people's hands. And instead of paying 13 euros, you pay like 20 euros to get the VAR token, right? So tack, you made 7 euros extra. Easy play. Now instead of RMTing, it was basically making profit for Blizzard. So basically, you're working for Blizzard.
Know that they can transfer that WoW gold to real money.
For gold, and that's where some gold-only claims become a smokescreen. Because boosters can 100% officially deal in gold.
Yep.
But buyers can buy gold with money,
Imagine that.
trade the gold for a boost,
Yeah.
and then the boosters can sell that gold later for money via any number of services.
Which all, by the way, are pretty much against the TOS. So that's where the TOS gets broken. It's not with the money coming into the economy, it's with the money going out of the economy. That's
like,
what
this
happens.
is the problem right here.
It's dirty
Not out of the
gold.
economy.
Like, this is crazy, right? Like, this is an obvious thing. You pay 20 euros to get 15 euros of value. Like, who the fuck would do that, right? And they mask it by this. People that buy this, they don't get game time. They don't put the 15 euros. No, they buy gold with it. And the people that buy gold with it use it to get game time. So now, Blizzard makes $5 extra profit every time. Not from the people that boost it and have the gold now, because they now no longer, like, let's say I boost all day. I don't need to pay for subscription anymore, right? So how are they going to make this money, right? Blizzard is losing money because they introduced VAR token. But they say, fuck it, let's just put $5 extra on it. So the rich people pay $5 extra. And the people that are good at the game, they now, instead of RMTing it, spend these extra $5 basically to buy game time. I guess it also depends on if you get like a long-term plan and stuff like that.
It's with the money going out of the economy. That's what happens.
It's dirty
You make
gold,
more euros,
but
yeah.
it is still just gold.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the value of boosting.
Okay.
One source
It's crazy, right? Like, literally, you buy the same service for more expensive. And nobody's sitting there and thinking like, hold the phone. This is 15 euros, $15, not 20. Why am I paying $20 to get game time? Like, it's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. It should be 15.
The estimate for the size of the boosting market is over 10 million euro per year. Yeah, so literally millions.
Hold on, what?
Market is over.
Okay.
One source's estimate for the size of the boosting market is over 10 million euro per year. Yeah, so literally millions. This
One
is
source
split
says.
across a lot of people globally, but there are, reportedly, a select few making six-figure sums from running the show.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And this is what happens, right? Is like you have the people that are making six figures from doing this. This isn't Jeremiah the
6 figures.
mage. Okay?
Yeah.
This is
No, that doesn't sound ridiculous. I mean, it depends on the lower end of the 6 figures. No, 6 figures is like 100k, right? Like between 100k and 999k. Yeah, I mean, that sounds not crazy to me. The question is it 100k or is it like 500k? Because if it's 100k, I can understand that. That's fine, right? Like, leading these boosting communities, I can imagine it being true. But if it's like 500k, then hold the fucking phone. What's going on here? Why am I even playing this game? Like, let me just make a boosting community. What the fuck?
I don't know, whoever the fuck, some random guy, Sven in Sweden, who owns the boosting company, who's shaving money off of everybody's top, right? Think of it like a pyramid scheme, and Sven's up at the top getting all the fucking money. See what I'm saying? That's how it happens. That's where they make the money. It's not the guys that are actually doing... See, if you want to make a lot of money, the best thing to do is to get other people to do the work for you, and then you just take money off the top of that. Because that way you can just apply that service to a bunch of people, and through an aggregate and just kind of the law of large numbers make a lot of money. That's how it works. It's like in Cookie Clicker whenever you get a bunch of cookie farms. You want to get cookie farms. You don't want to keep clicking. Even if you can click faster than a cookie farm, you'll get enough cookie farms to where it's just going to be more. Is this part of the pie? This is a pecan pie.
Gallywix, for example, was apparently a huge payday for those at the top.
Yeah.
Of course, until Blizzard banned them. Make no mistake, this...
I don't think the people at Gallywix were earning like 100k per year. I don't think so.
This is a serious...
I'm sure they were earning like a salary, but I don't think it's like a huge thing. I don't think so, no.
Industry with serious players.
Oh, yeah.
For some, it is in fact how they make a living, especially those in less well-off countries. The Westerners pay...
I mean, I know people from Gallywix. We worked with them, so...
That's a really
good...
good...
Maybe they do, but
really good
I
insight Bellular has there. Is that if you're working... let's say you live... I talked to Nick. I talked to Nick yesterday. He said the people working at McDonald's in Norway make $25 an hour. That's a lot of money. But let's say you live in Venezuela. Let's say you live in... what are some other countries where the economy's fucking terrible and it's just a complete shithole and you can't make any money? Brazil, I don't know. I feel like Brazil has like some really nice places. I kind of don't want to say the USA. Bro, if you actually think the USA is in the same universe as something like El Salvador, you need to leave your fucking upper middle class gated community and get out of your Cadillac that your dad bought for you and open your fucking eyes and look at the world. Shut the fuck up. Argentina. Jesus. What privilege to think that America is even in the same universe as Venezuela, El Salvador. Ugh. A lot of guys that live in these shitty countries, this is a way for them to actually make a legitimate living that's competitive with other things that they could do.
Or services at Western rates translates to a lot of money in some places. As an example, the Nova boosting community offers a Mythic plus 15 run for 270,000 gold. Assuming a player's cut is 20% of that 270k, they would earn about 54k gold. On our server, Ravencrest, buying gold usually seems to average out to about €1.35 per 10k gold. That is 54k gold, equating to €7.29.
That's
now,
a lot of money.
Let's be conservative and assume that selling gold
only
earns you
money.
50%.
Yeah, this would be even really good in Turkey, actually. And so, like, how long does it take? Wait,
of the money, and that the selling service perhaps pockets the rest.
Yeah, I would say you're buying it for like
is about
60%.
€3.65 per dungeon.
$3 a dungeon.
How much do they pocket?
And assume that is 54k gold, equating to €7.29.
That's a lot of money.
Let's be conservative and assume that selling gold
only
earns you
money.
50% of the money, and that the selling service perhaps pockets the rest.
Yeah, I would say you're
50%. No. They don't take the big cuts. And the reason this is so expensive, by the way, right now, is that this video is actually like 4 months old. It only got I only got to know it because of Asmongold reacting to it. He reacted very recently, but the video is really old. So back in the days, it may have been more expensive. But this would be a hard boost to do. Oh, 33% Blizzard. Ah, okay. So this is assuming that the people that bought this gold bought it from Blizzard and stuff. Okay.
Well,
Buying
that
it
still
for like
is about
60%.
€3.65 per dungeon.
$3 a dungeon.
Now, if we actually look at Serbia as an example, €3.65 is worth
That's so
around
sad.
420 Serbian dinars.
How convenient.
The minimum wage is 175 per hour, and the average wage is around 400 an hour. So using some rough math, a Serbian player could do 1 Mythic Plus per hour, 40 hours a week.
And like, it sucks. Like I said this before, is that if you really think that it's not that bad over in Serbia, if you want to make an Eastern European mad, ask them about their local politics. That's all you have to do. Ask them about their local politics, and they will make themselves mad. Every single fucking one of them. Yeah, it's that simple, man. Serbian here, I ain't mad. Look, dude, it is what it is. Serbia is beautiful, and I love my politicians. Okay, that's another 400 din right there. How about that?
And make above
there you go.
the country's average wage.
That's nuts.
Now, that said, we've been told that...
Actually, let me check the Serbia. I'm going to check Turkey real quick. That's 420, right? Yeah, so it's 2.6 euros per hour. So it's actually lower than this. So it's way better. If you're in Turkey, definitely start boosting RMT, boys.
400
It is what it is.
So using some rough math,
it's unfortunate, but that's just
Serbian
really
player
it.
could do 1 Mythic Plus per hour, 40 hours a week.
And like, it sucks. Like I said this before, is that
like, it's just don't get a job.
Really
just play WoW.
That bad over in Serbia.
Like, literally playing WoW is an investment because you pay once at the start to get the game, and then you make more money out of it. It's like getting a machine for your work. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
If you want to make an Eastern European mad, ask them about their...
The boosters themselves, the actual players, they're really not making out like bandits here.
No.
Of course, like in many situations, the real people making the profit are...
the bobbies.
The middlemen. The people actually running things.
The bobbies.
The advertiser for Nova, in our example, would get a 10% to 20% cut
referral
of the
fee.
gold for actually setting up the boost.
Exactly.
They could then,
that's
if they're
where
doing
you
really
make
well,
the money.
set up multiple boosting runs per hour.
Exactly.
And that, of course, would entail a lot less effort than actually running
Playing the
those
game.
dungeons as a part of the boosting labor force.
It scales
meaning
much
they would
better.
earn more per hour. One person we spoke...
This is one thing I've never done, by the way. I've never done the agency work. I don't know. I think that's just like I would feel too filthy doing that. I don't know. Whenever we got boosties, like, we boosted them ourselves. I've done all the weird shit in this game, but I've never became an agency for WoW boosting. Like, just never done it. No joke.
Spoke to actually claims
it is where the reminds. Yeah, true. We did think about making a boosting website. But even then, we thought about doing it for ourselves. We never thought about doing it for others. Actually, I did think about it not some time ago, a few months ago. I was like, you know what? It would be great if there was no boosting communities and you would just do it through a website where it's like a peer-to-peer directly thing, like some sort of like an auction house where you can put up offers and stuff. But I think what would lack is the trust there that it will happen. And it wouldn't be for money, but for gold. And I was thinking of doing it like legitimately. Like, literally, like, putting it on my stream and stuff, where people can just do it for gold, and this way we can get our gold, but we wouldn't use it to RMT. We would use it to buy BOEs because we were so in hunger for BOEs. I don't know. Maybe we still do it one day, like, legit, because if WoW doesn't change shit, we need gold from somewhere. I don't know.
Between €2,000 and €4,000 a month through organizing runs for only a few hours per night.
It's that easy.
And you can work way more than 8 hours a day.
Now, the way you do it, this is the main thing, right? Is the way you do it is you have to, like, I know how this shit works. If you're making a lot of money, the main thing that you're dealing in is you're dealing in individuals with a lot of money. You're basically dealing with trust fund kids, oil princes, and bobbies.
Literally dealt with an oil prince. Yeah, I mean not oil prince, like prince of Saudi Arabia.
And you find these people, and what do game
been there,
developers call
boys.
them? They call them whales, right? Like, there's literally, like, what they're doing is the same thing that the developers are doing, but it's just it's happening organically. So that's basically what happens. A lot of millionaire average Joes nowadays. Exactly, right? You've got a guy. This is really what it comes down to, right? You've got a single guy. He's 27. He makes $110,000 a year as a programmer, and he doesn't live in San Francisco. So he doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't do anything else besides play WoW and hang out with his friends sometimes. He's got $50,000 a year of disposable income, and the only thing else he spends it on is weed, and that's not even that much. So he's sitting there with all this money, giving you money all the time. So you want to be really, really good friends with Frederick the programmer, and you know, some oil prince and some trust fund kid, and you talk to them, you have a personal relationship with them. It's really important. Like, whenever you're doing, especially like repeat business with like big customers, they have to like you. They do. They have to like you. I'm telling you, like, I could go through this for like hours about like strategies and fucking like, it's just so much about it. But it's just, connecting with the customer. You make them happy, because there's a lot to be said with a person that enjoys doing business with you. That they enjoy doing business with you. Like, that's what it really is. There's definitely a lot to it.
Yeah, definitely. You need to be you need to be funny. You need to be talking about their hobbies and stuff like that. Like, definitely, it's not just a boosting service. You're making them feel good. It's like, it's as horrible as it can get.
But exactly, and it's like people don't really talk a lot about the. I feel like the business of like the personal aspect of business is a lot of times not talked about, because I think that it's considered like manipulative or something in that way. And like the only time it is talked about,
WoW,
it's by
way.
like people that
looking at WoW stuff too much.
They again, like, they post like Instagram quotes of things that they thought of behind a picture of Elon Musk to make the things seem more legitimate. So they got no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Elon, man.
But yeah, you have to have. Do you have a graph for that? No, I have a pie. So that's a good example. And just in general, that's what it is. Suck them off during the deal. Sales 101. It's not about suck them off. Like, you completely miss the point. If that's
did many
what you
things,
do.
not
like,
that.
My opinion is I treat
never
the
got
person,
that bad. God
this
bless.
is my best advice. Okay, for sales, treat the person you're selling to as a friend. Like, treat them as a friend, and that's going to make a huge impact, because they are a friend. They're helping you. You're helping them. It's good. There's nothing.
Why is Asmon selling us how teaching us how to boost, and like he's acting like this is something good, dude? He's like, they are your friend. Do it, boys. Just do it. What the fuck? Look at how convinced
they are
he is.
A friend. They're helping you. You're helping them. It's good.
Shut up.
There's nothing weird about that. It's good. That's good. Yeah, treat them as a friend.
Fairness, that's a pretty damn sweet hustle. I think we can all agree.
Definitely.
Another set.
Dude, if I wanted to buy a boost right now, I would go to Asmon. If he's gonna treat me like a friend, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna buy a boost. Fuck it. I'm gonna buy it only from him.
They could make over 100 euro a night from boosting at the right times, and around 20 euro an hour from farming gold in Classic when TBC launched. Again,
$20 an hour.
Having skin in the game like this can also cause some spicy situations. We heard one tale of a boosting guild actually taking revenge for missed payouts by, from what we heard, some doxing and threatening going on.
I had this happen too, because I used to, so whenever we were running dry and I wanted to still make a lot of money, what I would do is I would effectively subcontract things out. So, like, I would get a guy to, like, he would buy a bear mount from me for $12K, and then I would pay everybody in the group $2K. Well, there's 4 people in the group. That's $6K. Where does the other $6K go? So people would occasionally get mad about this, but I just told him, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is just like, I mean, you're making $2K for nothing. I had to find this guy. If you're going to complain about it, then don't come. And then they just keep showing up. Right? So that's what it is. Yep. But like you can do that, but it's, again, like, remember what I told you guys about, like, never to make the person that that you're doing business with feel like they got the short end of the stick. Remember what I said about that? It's so important to do that, because if you don't do that, like they'll fuck you over some point in the future in a way you can't even predict right now, usually. So
usually the people wouldn't even know how much the other guy paid. Like the way you did it in the past is you didn't know how much the customer paid. It was never talked about, and you just like knew what you will get as a booster, and that's it.
So that's my best advice.
But nowadays it's more transparent nowadays.
There it is. So it's a bit of both. I've done both. That's how I know.
To RMT, the real money transactions. Its prevalence in boosting is interesting. Ex-boosters told us that while nobody ever says anything publicly, a lot was obvious. Like known boosters showing up to raid, being unable to afford consumables, despite it being very public knowledge that they were paid a whole bunch of gold from their boosting salary that very week. So the question then is, if they can't afford their consumables, where did the gold go?
I wonder.
We've outright been told, quote, there is no clean gold boosting, and that source did
Of course there's no clean gold boosting. Why would you clean gold boost, man? Like there are, especially whenever you get into, there are people
there is definitely clean gold boosting. What does it mean? Like that's what we do.
That do it for just gold and that's it. They don't really give a fuck. Like definitely. But usually these people are part of, you know, like what Bellular is talking about, a larger apparatus or organization.
Bro, I'm telling you, boys, we're on the other end. If you would like be doing RMT anymore, then it would be us buying gold, not selling. We need gold. We wouldn't be selling gold. That's stupid. Because buying gold is more expensive than selling. Like because you buy it from Blizzard. I mean, I guess if you buy and sell between like all the time in RMT, then it's, you know, why would we sell gold if we want to buy gold, basically? You know, if you could like sell it and then buy it for cheaper, you know, that would make sense. But it doesn't make sense. Weird as well, just to force stuff like BOEs and consumables. Yeah, no, clean boosting is a normal thing. It's just like doing it as an organization, like a boosting community, that I don't believe in. Because eventually you need to have too much of it.
Organization that at some level is making real money.
Sort of indicate most named communities. If you're involved in boosting and not making money, some people would say that you're just making money for somebody else.
There it is. That's exactly what I said.
How do people actually sell the gold? That's a big question that I had. I'm sure that you have as well. Because you can't just start trading gold. That stuff is all tracked and scrutinized via automated systems.
Yep.
Well, one way is at the payment stage. Advertisers and buyers can privately discuss payment, gold or cash. If the buyer pays the advertiser in cash, and then the advertiser pays the boosting community they work for with their own gold, well, once these advertisers know who can do RMT, then they know they've essentially got a whale. Yeah. Then, the only two people who have knowledge of the money, the real money changing hands, is the advertiser and the payer. Everything else goes on normally, and you never have to deal with an outside seller. It's really smart, and in a way where...
that's the thing, is that it's always better for less people to know than more people to know. Whenever you're doing something like this, like if you're doing anything under the table, nobody can tell the secret. It can never get out if it never got in the first place. Never tell people unless you have to. Everything on a need-to-know basis.
The boosting communities, it's extremely hard for them to actually track and fix. And from a lot of the people we talk to, they genuinely do want to track and fix those problems because they don't seem to like it. Another way is one that shocked us. We've been told that Blizzard do not track guild transfers. So
that is true, which is super weird. I don't know why that makes any sense. Like, there's literally a log in the guild bank, but somehow they don't track it. If you want to buy gold, just invite them to a guild and say, put it into the guild, and you just try and get it out of the guild, and that's it. Like, it is very stupid. I don't know if it's like 100% true, But that's what I've been told, and that's, you know, that's how you can do things from what I know. I've never seen somebody getting caught doing that, at least.
Put a lot of gold in a guild bank, give somebody withdrawal permissions.
But I mean, they should track it. Just do it. Like, actually, wait, hold on. Does it benefit me if RMT stops? Hold on, I'm not sure. If people buy gold with WoW tokens, they have to pay more than buying it with RMT. So that means gold is worth more, but then we're gonna get paid less in gold if there's less gold. Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter at all. No RMT equals cheaper rating in terms of consumables, but what about BOEs? If there was RMT, people would be able to pay more gold because they could afford more for boost runs, right? Oh, there might be more incentive to get more gold for stuff because you can always RMT it. Whereas if there's no use for the gold above a certain amount, then it's gonna lose value. So it would eliminate one of the things that you can do with gold, which would encourage people more to spend it, right? BOE costs more because of RMT. Yeah, because gold is valuable. If gold, you know, if gold cannot be RMT'd out. Yeah, RMT is bad. RMT is bad. And guild banks do get tracked as well. Don't use it. I think RMT is bad because it makes us pay more gold for BOEs. It's a horrible thing. If you do RMT, it's like, you know, it's like a sin, yeah? You'll go to hell, boys. Not a good thing. Okay.
Or the guild
Jesus hates RMT, yeah.
And that's that done. Apparently, this is invisible to Blizzard's automated auditing. So this is actually, reportedly, how most large gold transfers are done. Then, there is gold laundering via WoW token. Buy WoW token, turn them into Blizzard balance, then buy gift copies of Battle.net games, and then sell those on reselling websites.
Yeah.
Technically, that is not RMT.
Ooh.
It's just against
never had the context for that I did that. Let me think if I did anything with Battle.net currency ever. No. That's 5-head, and yeah. There's no outplay, dude.
Spirit of the system. And in a way, it does mean that if you farm up a whole bunch of gold,
there you go.
You can get some real money out of it. Probably not at the best pay rate, let's be real.
You get a shitty pay rate.
And with all that
that's
said,
true.
We haven't even talked about...
And that's the thing, right? Is that, like, if you're doing this all the time, like, let's say you're making 30% less money, okay? You're making 30% less money. Well, if you only make $1,000, you're only missing $300. But if you make $100,000, you're missing $30,000. So for the people that are a lot more serious about it, they're going to always go towards the TOS options because it makes the most money and they're doing it at scale. If you're not doing it at scale, then yeah, this is what you do.
Pure gold selling itself or pure RMT boosting. But those are nothing new. There are a ton of websites that you can just...
I even know of specific software, like VPN software, that was made for the pure purpose of boosting. I don't know if a lot of people know that. But there was a boosting community, and they were using this because account sharing was being tracked by Blizzard. But if you used VPN, it didn't. Like, well, it could still get tracked, but it was a lot lower chance. They wouldn't have to check your like game copy from which you're playing, and they oftentimes do not do that. So a lot of people would use a VPN from that person's zone, like get his IP, and then make it a lot safer when they were boosting. And this would lead to the fact that people buy boost more from this boosting community because it's safer. Safe carry. I don't know what the service was called. The one that I know was an internal program that was only used by people in that boosting community, and they wouldn't hand it out to anybody like that. No, they're not.
Go and, buy from or sell to. The fact they still
operate
after all of these years proves that they're doing at least something. Oh, and as for WoW token, well, apparently it is only a small portion of how gold is moved. An extremely rough estimate that we were given was around 30%, with the rest being RMT. Now, I wouldn't put a massive amount of stock in this, though, as nobody knows
That's
for
a lot
sure,
of RMT. Holy
but it is
shit.
a multi-million market. 30% of that is still quite a lot. The last thing, and it's more of an aside in terms of scope, there are also streamers who will boost people in return for subs and donations.
Boys, that's a massive one.
Which essentially, I mean, yes, it's...
Which is against the rules. It's not essentially. It's not essentially.
That's why I cannot do sub luck on like if I did a viewer run, I can't do subscription luck on that because that means basically I'm RMTing.
Is against the rules.
I do it on giveaways that are completely unrelated to like.
We almost got in trouble for this on the Moose is Loose. Do you guys remember
thank you for
the Moose
give
is
it subs,
Loose?
man.
Who remembers the Moose is Loose? All the Moosins? Fucking Incarnate. Incarnate is in fucking voice chat with me, and he just randomly says, if you send us a picture of your boobs, we'll give you a free moose. And he was getting girls sending him their boobs to get a moose. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, I can't, like, oh, we're going to get in so much trouble for this. But, like, luckily we didn't. That was, like, 5 years ago. So we missed that. What? But, oh, my God. And he was inviting them. And, like, he's like, invite this girl. Oh. And I'm like, did she pay? He's like, yeah, she did.
Boosting is everywhere. Basically, you just need to look for it.
What?
Yeah,
as horrible as this all sounds, remember, this is one side of the argument. We do not claim to be serious investigative journalists, and no one has offered us extremely hard evidence on a platter. So this is primarily us talking with people involved.
Oh, bro, it's common sense. It's a priori. Like, come on. It's common it's obvious. Okay? It's fucking obvious.
In the scene to varying degrees and trying to work out what's going on. We have spoken to community leaders for their side of the story, though, so I think we should cover that next, because it's also very interesting.
Would it be cool if they asked us as well about the opinion?
For boosting communities, their survival depends on how far they can be removed from RMT. Blizzard are actually given access to spreadsheets and internal tracking tools that these communities use in order to audit them when necessary, so as to ensure that no gold is missing.
You really telling me that Blizzard's doing that shit instead of actually just banning the bots? You telling me they're doing this? No way. Why would Blizzard even trust why would he trust their books? There's no accountability. How can Blizzard be so stupid? I don't believe this because it requires Blizzard to do something. That usually doesn't
they actually
happen.
They actually did have access to the sheets.
Into Excel.
In particular, who we talked to, said that by bringing boosting into the light, they can actually help players avoid RMT and remove bad actors like scammers from the picture. When asked what they actually do to root it out, they said that they basically ensure that there is a culture of investigating suspicions within their organization, and that when evidence is found,
we take all accusations very seriously. We are dedicated to our culture of not having RMT. How can anybody believe that? Like, we have investigated ourselves, and we've found no wrongdoing. Can you believe that?
They remove people, and they actually pass evidence on to their Blizzard contact so that in-game bans can be set up. In a community of somewhere around...
Couldn't that be used in a bad way? If, like, they talk to somebody from Blizzard, and, like, because I'm sure that... Here's the thing. Do you think that they refer every single person who they suspect RMTing to Blizzard? I think no. I think they only refer the ones they don't like. They root out their competition. There's that too.
That definitely.
56,000
but there's also,
players,
I'm pretty sure there's also corrupt GMs that know about certain things and they cover it up. I mean, I know for a fact, back in the days, you could do some stuff with corrupt GMs to what did people do again? Oh yeah, for selling characters, dude, that was a standard thing. Oh yeah, that's how you sold characters. You transferred your account, your character to a different account, and then you told your GM homie, you called him up, and you were like, "Bro, can you change the name? Who this account belongs to? Just change the last name or whatever. It wasn't required to like transfer your between the two accounts." And I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, just give me the ID," and you just screenshot the ID of the buyer who would send you like to get this thing. And then, I mean, it's not illegal. They can't arrest you. Like, he's not going to be too scared. So he would just put it and then tack, easy done. In RuneScape, there was a lot of hacking for sure. I got hacked in RuneScape like 3 times, and then we started hacking people. I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, that was with my brother back in the dark ages, boys. We don't talk about. I was way too young, and I regret everything I did. I regret everything I've ever done about this.
They have actually removed 700 RM tiers in total.
He made me do it.
So not bad. Whocan also provided some example prices, claiming that they intentionally...
There's only 55,300 more to go.
...undercut RMT-based competitors so that basically gold prices paid for through WoW token are cheaper. Now, obviously, this does not account for buying gold through RMT and then passing that along to Whocan, but it's not like that's something that they can track as an org. So to this end, they hope to push the less reputable vendors out of the market entirely. It's kind of like the popular idea of legalization replacing the black market. As to whether that actually happens or not, especially in this case, it's obviously hard to know. Anyway, Whocan
I think you still are going to have a... The problem with that is that, like, this is what happens, as far as I know, in California, is you still have the illegal drug dealers because of all the taxes on weed over there is so high that you still have a market for illegal purchases.
Yeah, there's definitely people still buy gold from people. I mean, that's how RMT works, right? Otherwise, how would people how would people even sell gold if it wasn't way cheaper than the thing? And there you just gotta find the trustworthy ones and deal with them, and that's it. Yeah, that's how people do it.
That's my understanding. I mean, I don't live there. I don't know. Like, same with Colorado. Like, that's what logically would make sense, right? Can't compete with an illegal market. Yeah, basically. Am I an illegal drug dealer? That's not correct. I mean, but how is it not correct though? Like, I don't see how it's not correct. Same in Canada. Yeah, I mean, it's like that. Logically, that's what would make sense. Tax rate on weed is 50%, basically. Yeah. I mean, like, why would people not want to buy it? Because illegal makes no money? I don't know about that. How'd Pablo Escobar have all that money? How'd that happen? Yeah, how that fucking happen? Of course it does. How do you think they buy an expensive car?
Somebody in his chat wrote illegal doesn't not make any money. I mean, God damn it. I'm glad in my chat nobody would write like this, but it's fine. I mean, he's a big streamer, Asmongold viewers. Yeah. You know how it is, boys. Yeah?
Street per ounce is 40 here and 90 in San Diego. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. But like, all I'm saying is that I find this argument to be not very strong.
Least is publicly sure in their mission to stamp out RMT and has provided evidence of their efforts, actually naming one RMT booster they caused to shut down. So that's their take. Another community,
so they got rid of their competition,
reached out for a conversation with us as well. They were very open about the difficulty, actually, behind keeping RMT out, like buyers bringing in dirty gold. But they are proud to report that they haven't had any Blizzard bans hit their community for over a year, while they say that other communities experience...
Yeah, because there probably haven't been any bans at all in over a year. Let's be honest. That's probably the real reason.
...it regularly. In general, the perceived level of professionalism...
It's hand-farmed gold, yes, dude, yes. Of course. That's a good gold. That's the stuff that goes like a bit higher than the market price. This is like the best gold, right? Hand farmed. And then there's the stuff that's like lower quality. That's like the boost amount of like boosted gold. Maybe you did some multi-boxing and stuff like that. And then the lowest one is when you get to the Chinese farmers. If you reach that level, that stuff, just like if Blizzard smells it, you might get banned. If you just smell like Chinese gold, oh shit, dude. Oh shit. Back in the days, that was the thing that you couldn't ever compete with. I mean, when I say we, I mean people that did this business that I was close by, but I that you couldn't compete with. But nobody needed to compete. Nobody needs to compete with Chinese farmers as well. Boys, listen up. Nobody needs to compete with them because they were so untrustworthy. And then like your argument would be like, bro, like obviously I'm not gonna be selling it for the Chinese price. That shit gets you banned insta. What I'm gonna give you is the good gold. You know? Like, and if they ask you like, yeah, we do boosting. You know, boosting is fine. Or we do multi-boxing. Like I farm BOEs when the first week comes out, multi-boxed accounts, 20 people, 30 people going in heroic. That's the good stuff. Always go for the good stuff. It's not worth risking yourself for the Chinese stuff, boys.
From the people we...
What about Magicka? Dude, Magicka just plays the auction house. He has actually nothing to do with boosting. It's actually insane. Magicka is an auction house beast. He's crazy. And he gives us gold for no reason. Like, he's a legend. What an absolute blaster. If you guys don't know what Magicka is, he literally just gets gold and does giveaways and stuff. Like, he's a wizard, yeah. He helped us so much with Voice of First, and he never asked for a boost back or something. He just was like, you know, if you guys can repay me, that would be great. So we always pay him back, of course. But he's literally just supporting us. A true goblin, yeah.
We talk to here, I mean, it is quite impressive, you know?
Well, of course they're going to be professional, Bellular, because they want you to give them a positive spin in the video. Of course that's what it is, because they stand to gain. This is the same thing as, like I said, with the business thing. Is that, like, yes, obviously, like, you want to do good business and treat somebody well because it is in your best interest to do so. Duh. Fucking duh. Like, it's that simple, man. Starlight's actually great, though. Well, I don't know about Starlight. I have no idea because, like, I've never interacted with them. But if you take the top 10 people that are involved with Starlight, whoever they are, how many of them do you think are making real money from Starlight or things related to it? I think probably...
Starlight sounds like some sort of drug or something, yeah?
Probably 10 of them. If I had to guess, 9 or 10. Only at the top? That's the only thing that matters. That creates the whole economy. Yeah. Starlight, excuse me. Yeah, I have no idea. Wukon sucks, sick of seeing him all chats, yeah, etc. Like, I have no idea. In-game for boosting is always RMT. Let's not be naive here. Yeah, exactly, man. Is pyramid scheme? Well, yeah.
All besides, dude, I got busted already. But hey, I'm clean now. I'm clean, boys. Literally, fully clean. Since a long time, okay? We don't talk about the past. Like, you know, after some time, the crimes that you committed, like, too much time passes and then it's fine, you know? It's okay. This is the case for me. It's fine. Like, that, you know, are they gonna ban me for something that happened like 3 years ago, like 5 years ago? You know, we've been there, we've done that. There was ban waves. It's good now. Okay, I've been like to jail. I'm a clean person. Okay, past is past, boys.
Pyramid schemes, man. Like, look at this. The organization of a company. It's a pyramid scheme too.
They put advertisers through specific RMT avoidance training. They collect gold from only verified characters, and the admins even personally verify every transaction. I think that is the sorts of things that people would want to hear. But there is one burning question we had on our mind. Earlier on in this video, we explained why the sellers and the buyers do boosting. But why the hell...
Also, like, they say they evaluate every transaction. What does this mean? What does this mean? You know what I mean?
Do the organizers need all of this gold? Is WoW gold really worth putting all of this time and effort into?
No, it's not.
Obvious to anyone that they must be doing it for the money.
Yes.
So we just decided to be upfront and ask, how do they justify it without them getting paid? Or their staff getting paid? Then, as to how they justify their time, well, they have over 60 staff on board and ensure that each member only has a few hours of work to do per week, which essentially means that nobody has got to invest too much of their time. And it was stressed to us that no one does it professionally.
I think when they say 60 staff, they count like the advertisers. Perhaps they even count the boosters. Like, I'm not sure. Because that's also staff. But they don't work all day, like full day, right?
That it's a hobby project for everybody.
I mean, still, dude, have you seen Trade Chat? How many advertisers are there? That's only your server. You need to think about the other servers. Like, every boosting community needs at least like 20, 30 advertisers. And then some people come in with their contacts, right? Like, you get like a good advertiser. They're not an advertiser at that point. They're basically an agency. They have their customers. They have their, like, especially like a list of whales that they have been collecting for years now. Dude, they're worth a lot. If you get that guy into your boosting community, he's not just gonna get an advertiser spot. He's gonna be a high ranked dude. He's gonna get a percent from the stuff, you know, not just from his customers, but from the all. You're gonna give him basically equity of your company to get him in. That's how valuable they are.
Involved. Over at Starlight, they say much the same. They pay out gold.
You think it's a hobby to pay the web hosting? It's a hobby to pay the web hosting. That costs real money. Oh my God.
Gold for staff to get trading card game mounts, black market auction house items, and Battle.net balance, but that it's mostly a passion project by like-minded people. Now, you can choose whether to believe that or not, but it is what they say.
I will choose.
According to Whocam, they keep their costs to almost zero. Free hosting services are used to host everything except their website, which the owner pays for out of pocket. They pay all of their staff in gold, and they try to ensure that staff don't then go and sell that gold on. As for why they do it, well, it's for gold and entertainment. The way that it was explained to us is that it's basically another way to play World of Warcraft. The same reason why somebody may choose to lead a guild in WoW or to be a mythic raider. They do it as a part of their game experience. And a degree of that is certainly quite understandable. I mean, you build a big, cool organization. You see it thrive. You see your numbers go up. You got a whole bunch of gold. In much the same way that there are people who just enjoy gold farming and playing the auction house, even though they're really earning more gold than they can realistically spend in the game.
Yeah, that's why they sell it.
One of the overall things...
The thing is, playing the auction house is fun because you have some sort of immersion in the game. This is literally, you're just dealing with people that are filthy rich and you're trying to please them. It's a disgusting job. It's disgusting. It is not fun. You're not having fun doing this. Nobody's having fun doing boosting communities. No fucking shot, dude.
Things we've heard is that these communities are just that, communities, like a guild.
It's also like if you have 3 to 4 hours of work per day, let's say, that doesn't mean that you're not playing the game the other 5 hours. So these people are still, it's like you think that's the only time they're working is just a couple of hours. No, man, it's all the other time invested. Like I can tell you right now, like having a small business is not just the time that you're on the clock. Sure, they don't want to work more. Yeah, exactly. They do work 3 to 5 hours a week, not day. Yeah, and then the thing is, like, it's cascaded down with different people responsible for it. You can easily spend hundreds of millions of gold on TCGs, rare mount items, black market. I don't think about hundreds of millions of gold. I think that might be a bit much. But some of this stuff, definitely, yeah. When you have your own business, you're always working. Yeah, I don't really buy this.
Formed around a specific goal, they worked together and ended up becoming friends. And that means...
I have over 20 million gold off of auction house. I have nothing to do with all of it. I enjoy that part of the game. Yeah, no, playing the auction house is fun though. To a degree, that is fun. And to be able to buy things. But sitting there and dealing with people's problems all day, I mean, I don't know. I cannot imagine that being fun. Especially like rich people's problems, rich kids being problems, the boosters problems. They create drama, people who do RMT that you'd have to then deal with that comes out. It's like, you know, when the mafia is like you're all into the shit, you know, you're all doing the shit, and then one guy gets caught, and then, you know, you can't have him tell on you, so just kill him. Like, you know, you're like, no, okay, you know, that guy, whew, I don't know. I don't know him. Fuck him. Yeah, he's an arm tier. He's gone. This is not fun. You know, this is not something you do for fun. Boosting communities, bro. No shot people are doing it just for fun. I don't know. At least I don't buy it. Maybe they do.
Staff,
I don't think so.
Boosters and boosties, they are places to hang out, to meet.
Maybe for a while. Maybe you could do it for a while, right? Like a month or two. You could be like, yeah, you know, sounds fun. We're gonna get some gold. Yeah, sure, dude. Gold is fun. And eventually you have too much gold. And it's not that much fun anymore.
People and to play the game together. I mean, if you're doing a bunch of boosted raids with a bunch of other incredible raiders and you've got good camaraderie, you could certainly see that being a fun experience.
Yeah.
Hell, people on both sides of the fence have told us that they believe that boosting is actually helping to keep World of Warcraft alive for what they see as being a massive portion of the players. Boosters find competition and camaraderie.
So is botting. I mean, so is botting. I mean, it keeps the game alive because more people are playing it. Like, this is not a very strong argument to me.
And as for the boosties, well, they can finally get groups to do content and a lot more. We'll cover these.
Boosting is keeping the game alive. Oh my god! Wow,
in a good
I've been in it for a long, boys, in this game, in the boosting scene, and all of it. I've never heard that one.
More depth in part 2, but it's worth saying that boosting does have a few positives. Sadly, we cannot ignore the fact that the act itself introduces the concept of pay to win in a way that hurts the integrity of World of Warcraft's gameplay in a few aspects. That bad
dude, he's talking about pay to win like it's some ethical subject. And it sounds like he's gonna say, like, you know, this money is made off of children working in Africa or something. No, he's talking about pay to win, and we cannot ignore that. That now you cross the line.
Actors can profit from it. That token is a way for Blizzard to profit.
I find it very, if Blizzard is actually involved and working with these people, I find that to be very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Because the fact is that, like, Blizzard is now, like, enabling this kind of content. They're enabling this kind of incentive, right? Yeah, it's what you guys are saying, incentives. Absolutely. Because what they're doing is they're actively harming the they're actively harming the integrity of the game by allowing people to buy and sell things with the WoW token. Because if you don't have the WoW token, this is what makes it less complex. Is that if you don't have the WoW token, transferring large sums of gold is now much more sus. And buying gold is much more sus. The WoW token muddies the waters, which makes it hard for Blizzard to differentiate people that are buying things with the WoW token and people that are just buying gold. You see what I'm saying?
From the pay-to-win side, and that it's nigh impossible to distinguish a community that is feigning innocence from one that is genuinely trying to be clean.
No, it's not impossible. The way you can tell is if they stand to gain. If they stand to gain from doing something, they're probably doing it. If they don't stand to gain, then they're probably not doing it. It's that fucking simple.
He said, she said, without any significant evidence, so in a way, feel free to come to your own conclusions.
Yeah.
As it stands, boosting communities aren't doing anything wrong by the letter.
No,
unless they're involved in RMT. And in an ideal world, Blizzard would be able to snuff out the RMT.
Which
sadly,
they don't.
Blizzard can't. Or maybe
of living exclusive guilds, my people, dude. Let's go. My boys, look at them.
Won't.
Lined up.
As it stands, boosting communities are a symptom. They're not really a disease. One of the bigger issues here is that Blizzard does not have a real policy on boosting or on pay to win. That is quite obviously a major point of contention. A few things.
You know what? Like, one day I imagine WoW coming out and being like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna take the WoW token out, and we're gonna make the game less pay to win from now on. And then, like, people go into the streets and riot all over the world. They'll be like, Blizzard's taking our jobs away. What are we gonna do? and like there's a huge riot in cities. Like this is the future, man.
Surprised me here. So let's talk about Blizzard Entertainment's role in this entire situation.
Okay. This is what really matters. Because the boosters, I don't really, the WoW token muddies the waters. There's a very simple activity to observe whether or not someone is transferring gold in excess of normal activity. Yeah, it is, but what you're saying is that there are false positives. And whenever you have a lot of gold being injected into the economy regularly, you will have false positives for that. And that's what I'm saying is because if you basically create like false positives. That's what happens. And ultimately, like, this is the thing, is the boosters, I honestly don't really hold much against them. I don't, because you don't have any fucking money and you're good at WoW. Well, of course you're going to sell carries. No shit. It's because you need money. Fucking duh. Like, yeah, like if I lived in Venezuela, I'd be selling carries like a motherfucker. Like, absolutely. Who would not do this?
I don't blame
them. It
makes
perfect sense. It's not that they're bad. It's Blizzard enables it to happen. It's completely Blizzard's fault, in my opinion. I don't think it's the boosters' fault at all. People will always take advantage of a system. And even if you get rid of all the people that are boosting today, you'll have new ones to replace them tomorrow. And this will continue happening forever until the system is changed. Because that's what really matters.
Blizzard are barely involved, and that essentially is the problem.
Yeah.
Before the time of the banning of the Gallywix boosting community, Blizzard was highly active and would engage with communities directly, auditing their transfers and informing them of any major bans coming their way and why those bans were taking place.
Hey, what was this? We've recently completed a round of actions against players who were found to be cheating in World of Warcraft. We rarely communicate publicly about this because we found that describing our sources and methods can make it easier for malicious actors to work around them, but we feel that it's worthwhile to expand on the subject today, as many players have recently asked us for more details, including today's actions over the last month in the Americas, Oceania, Europe, and whatever. I guess it's like banned over 74k WoW accounts that were found to be in violation of our end user agreements. The majority of these were found to be using gameplay automatic tools, something resources, or kill enemies much more efficiently than legitimate players can. Oh, this is about botting, actually.
After the banning of Gallywix, though, they've apparently cut contact and now just ban RMT whenever they can prove it internally.
That's smart. That's a smart thing to do. Because why would you trust somebody if there's no accountability for the trust? Like with accounting, if you put in like false sheets or something like that, and you submit false shit, well, you can go to jail. With this, like, it's very hard to prove that it was intentionally false. There's a lot of ways of obfuscation.
Obviously, this could coincide with Blizzard cutting non-development staff.
I doubt that. To be honest, I doubt this. If they had 190 employees dedicated to RMT, listen, if you hire me, just me, I could probably do probably a quarter of it. Like, I could do a massive amount of it because I know what to look for. There's no way it was 190 people or even remotely.
Dude, what Blizzard needs to do is, you know how they took Gallywix down? They need to, like, they need to hire them, you know? They need to hire the Gallywix people to end boosting. You know, like how you hire a hacker to do your cybersecurity, you hire a boosting community to end boosting. That's the real thing. Or, like, you know, even like, I don't know, send like spies into these boosting communities. Like, yeah, I have a lot of, bro, I have the biggest contacts. And then you like, you go undercover agent, they buy a couple boosts, you know, but the whole boosting and the boostees, they were all Blizzard employees. Haha. And it's just under this boosting community. And eventually you get into the deep ones, right? You're like, bro, I got bigger people, like bigger whales, but you know, they want to get the good stuff. They want to get the mythic boosts. You know, I need contact to these big guilds. You know, I need to be able to regulate this. You know, and then you get the higher rank. But of course, you know, I need to get some commission as well. Like, not just commission. I want to be part of this. You know, and then eventually you get to see the real sheets. And that's, you know, you ask him, bro, I have too much gold. I have too much gold now. I need to get rid of it somehow. Do you know a way, perhaps, homie? And then he's like, yeah, I do. And that's when it all crumbles down, dude. My boys from Galavix, the homies, they need to become Blizzard employees.
Near that we're involved with it.
Seem keen to help here from what we could tell, but communities don't really have the resources, and by not hiring the needed staff, Blizzard are actively letting RMT happen and the situation get out of hand.
Yeah.
It is their world, it is their job to manage and police this stuff, and they are just not doing it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And I think you can see how maybe a big wig in Activision Blizzard making hiring and firing decisions would
be honest, like, Blizzard's got bigger problems than fucking boosting in WoW. Like, let's be honest.
True.
Boosting in WoW is not even in their top 5.
Simply not understand any of this whatsoever and would basically be clueless, leading to issues for all of us on the ground. Apparently, and this was a little bit surprising to me, evidence of Gallywix engaging in RMT was provided to Blizzard months before Blizzard made their move.
Wow, that's really surprising. I can't believe they would take forever to do something. That's crazy. Wow. Thank you, Bellular. What a shock. I'll be right back. Bro, I literally almost tripped on this. I legit almost tripped on this. Falling down. My dad had an operation. My dad had to have an operation for I forgot like what the fuck. It was like some kind of thing, and they needed to do surgery, and they basically tried to sedate him, but because he's done so many drugs and he takes so many painkillers and different drugs that are prescribed to him, they weren't able to sedate him normally. So what happened is that he was on the operating table, and he kept telling jokes to the people operating on him, and he was fucking them up. So they had to extra sedate him. And then they call me and they tell me this, and I'm like, okay, fuck, all right, fine. And like, so your dad might not really be all there in the head. So I get there, and my dad's sitting on the side of the bed, and he takes a bag of masks, and he goes like this. He sweeps it behind himself, and he looks at me, and I put it in the bag, and then we steal the whole bag of masks from the hospital on the way out. He was fine. Yeah, he was fine. It was no big deal. So that's where I got the socks. That's what it was. Why steal masks? Because we needed some more. We didn't want to buy. Yeah.
Blizzard basically was just kind of lying on it. Blizzard only finally acted when somebody threatened to post all of their evidence on Reddit and make it go public.
Yeah.
Once that threat was made, somehow Blizzard decided to start actually taking action.
It's crazy how, like, whenever this is what I said before, like with the ripcord. It's crazy how whenever the right pressure is applied, things that are impossible become possible. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that so surprising? Wow.
That's a risky bit in working in this like such a public business, right? Like with social media and everything. Like, it's really hard to do something wrong, actually. Like, I'm thinking about, you know, the moment somebody does something bad, you know, it doesn't immediately come out, but it is a really high chance to come out. And if it does come out, you're fucked. You're really fucked. It's you know, you're gonna make big losses, at least, if not even worse. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword, though. But at the same time, you can easily get blamed for something that you didn't do, and you're still getting fucked. You know, gotta be really careful. It's really interesting. There's this like safety measure that you can go public with things, but at the same time, what if somebody does it? And that's the hard part to you know, to be careful about. What if somebody does it without, you know, remembering method. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, right? Like, that was the argument. I mean, what if somebody just is making up stuff and it's not real, right? It's all a lie. You can't know. And you know, you can't say like nobody got ever accused of something that they've never done, right? Like that's not a thing. People did get accused of things that they've never done. This thing happens. But at the same time, from my experience so far, is that quite often, 99% of the time, if somebody's accused of something and somebody's passionately going after somebody else, they usually did do something fucked up. It usually did happen. Something did happen. You know, that's from what I see. So at the same time, I would still not, join the bandwagon and hate on things without seeing proof, but investigating. You gotta be really sure. Like if you care about this stuff, if it does concern you in some way, you gotta investigate if you want to be sure. Definitely, a lot more cases than where the person accusated is doing something wrong than is just some random guy spreading lies about some other guy. Definitely.
What does it have to do with this?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not true. Sometimes there is smoke and there's no fire. But most likely there is. Like very often there is.
Socks? Oh, he stole the socks too. Yeah, it was all in the bag, like, because they gave him a bunch of stuff while he was there, and so he just put all the stuff that was in like the room in the bag, and then he left. That's why. Like, yeah, I got the socks too, but like the socks, like the
why is Asmongold talking? Why did he steal masks?
Blizzard have been given evidence of many, many more, but they've done nothing to follow up.
Wow.
In general, Blizzard buries their head in the sand, and Blizzard continues to profit from WoW token. And make no mistake, the entire boosting economy makes a lot of money for Blizzard via WoW token.
It does.
So they do have a financial incentive to basically just let it all roll. The same applies to bots. Bots generate an obscene amount of gold in World of Warcraft. For every group of bots just farming mobs for raw gold, your gold on your character right now becomes less valuable because of inflation. Hundreds of thousands per hour, 24/7. Ever feel poor in WoW? Ever feel more poor over time? That's why. Because Blizzard let bots infest their game.
Yep.
What has this got to do with boosting, then? Well, if you need a ton of gold match bot inflation, you can either buy it or make it. Not everyone can afford to buy gold. Not everybody would actually enjoy farming gold or playing the auction house, but maybe they're really good at the game, so they join a boosting community to earn some gold.
Yeah, it creates a need.
There are some more insidious ways that Blizzard are enabling it as well. Gold requirements, effective gold requirements to do things, the game's reward design, interface, community, etc. Those things are out of scope today.
I don't really care about the game things, like buying legendaries and shit like that. I think that's what's always happened in the game, is there's always been BOEs. There's always been things like that you can buy. Like, I don't think that's anything new or special, to be honest with you. And
it definitely is new.
You have more of that in Burning Crusade and Classic, and you don't have a WoW token in there. I don't really buy into the idea that
But in VOD, in MOP, you didn't have it. It was much better. There was BOEs, but it didn't matter that much.
Blizzard is designing the game in order to incentivize selling WoW tokens. I don't believe that, but I think that they're just simply ignoring the ways that people are using them.
Okay, so look forward to our follow-up video diving into the design aspects that basically allow for all of this to happen. Finally then, WoW token. This certainly tipped the scales.
Oh yeah.
Now,
this is it.
Paying money for gold is acceptable in-game. So whales can legally be rich without earning it. Now, other players value gold more because it can become Battle.net balance or game time. Some people
because they don't have that
will
much
even
money.
buy a gift code, throw it in G2A or something like that, and try to make a little bit of side cash. And Blizzard profit from every one of those things sold. Boosting took off. Reporting it did nothing because it all looks above board. And before we knew it, our game looked somewhat unrecognizable. Hell, even if RMT magically ceased to exist, there would still be a conversation about boosting in the game. Because it still would be, in a way, undeniably pay to win because of WoW token. We'll examine
the problem is the WoW token. The problem
RMT has nothing to do with it. RMT is not even a problem, dude. It's not even a thing. Like, sure, it shouldn't be allowed, but like that's nothing compared to WoW tokens.
Is that you can do it with real money. That's what the real issue is, in my opinion. I do not think the issue is people farming gold and buying boosts. Like in a fair economy or something.
Nobody buys boosts from farmed gold, by the way. Like, that's just not a thing. If you farm that gold, you put so much time into it, you're not going to just go and spend it on a boost. Instead, you would spend that time into learning how to play and beating the fights. Why would you spend even more time to farm gold, to pay that gold, to skip the good content by paying gold for it? Like, what the fuck?
Sorry, a well-moderated economy where botters are banned regularly and RMTers are banned regularly, I think that boosting is not that bad. Because, as I said before, it's the RP of a fat goblin getting carried around by a bunch of strong, experienced
This doesn't happen, though. Like, Asmongold is saying that, but this really doesn't happen. There is no fat goblin because nobody is able to make that much gold unless they buy it. Like, really. Maybe, like, one or two, like, 900 IQ individuals that can just, like, really play the auction house. They're, like, I don't know. You know? They might as well go do stocks and just, you know, take over the world. No, they went into WoW and it's taking over that. You know, could happen. You know, Magicka, for example, is an example. But aside from that, like, no shot.
Adventurers while he collects all the loot at the end and calls himself the winner. Like, I feel like there's a really good RP for that, and like there's a place for that. However, whenever it's real money, it's just not that's out the window, in my opinion. That's out the window.
Impacts of gold generation and pay to win in depth in our next installment, so hold tight. First, I want to talk a bit about solutions.
Get rid of the WoW token and ban people that RMT. Hire
that would be by far the easiest solution. What you're saying?
A dozen people that understand the game and understand RMT to and how it happens to investigate accounts, and that's it. Like, the problem is that whenever an average player can identify ways that people RMT better than Blizzard, it goes to show that they don't really care. They're not really trying.
Here's what we think is a deep truth. Blizzard cannot solve boosting. At least not without radically changing how the game works. This is an MMO. I should be able to trade your character some gold in return for you giving me a hand.
Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable thing to happen in a virtual world with a virtual economy.
True, real, and
a good
accurate
sector that we see in the auction house, and a services sector that we sort of now see in boosting. The damage to how people play, in a way, has already happened. However, what Blizzard can do, is mitigate the problem quickly and support the good parts of boosting while they're at it. Our immediate proposal is going to be controversial here.
Okay.
It could be to legitimize boosting somewhat. Basically, make it a bit of a service that people...
I would just remove all advertising. If you're not allowed to advertise for boosting, if somebody DMs you and like you're known in your server for it or something, yeah, sure, whatever. I would just remove it completely from the game. If you're a new player or if you're any player playing the game, you shouldn't see random pop-ups all the fucking time telling you that you can buy boosts here. Oh, you can also buy boosts here, but you can also buy boosts here. Oh, we're a bit cheaper. Oh, we're more expensive. No, like, this has nothing to do with the game, man. What you should be seeing is like, yo, we need one more good tank for this shit or that shit, or I need a crafter for enchanting, like shit like that. That's what the MMO is about. It's right now the main subject of trade chat is boosting. Like, it shouldn't be there to begin with. Literally, like, there should be no messages. Absolutely, there should be 0 messages about boosting in the game. The only thing that could be allowed is DMs. Yeah, that's it. And Final Fantasy does it. It works.
People can pay for in-game. Maybe give it an opt-in chat channel.
I don't think you should be even able to ask for a boost.
And ban service advertising from trade chat. Give it a tab in the group finder. Just call it services. Maybe somebody could list that they are willing to provide a service, or maybe if you, let's just say, you want to do some Mythic Antorus, but you need a +1 and you can't really find anyone, maybe? I mean, why not just get them in trade chat, but you get the point. In a way.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely a perspective. Like, to me, I wouldn't really care that much about that's like completely, that is separate from the problem. Like, the problem is RMT. Boosting is not the problem to me. It's RMT is the problem. Boosting.
I think boosting is another problem. It's not even remotely close to RMT. RMT is like the root problem because you're literally able to buy and pay to win, which is what the game is supposed not to do, because otherwise you might as well go do real life stuff. Because if, the idea is that in the game, everything is fair, because you can't get born into a poor country in the game. No, like everybody starts the game at the same place. That's the whole point. In my opinion, that's a whole cool part of the game. Like, you can't be born rich and use daddy's money. I mean, I guess if your son starts playing the game, you trade him stuff. But in general, you can't do that. So that's why everything is equal. But pay to win ruins that. And that's why it's a horrible, horrible thing. There's no place in the game for it. I mean, if you're saying like that is our monetization model, that is a necessity for the game to exist, then we might need to find compromises, but there's no need for it. The game did work without it for years. Like, you make enough money from the game without pay to win. So, Scripe hates Narco. Correct. No, of course not.
For a gold that you farmed, that you got legitimately, sounds good. Do what you want. But it's the RMT that's bad. So, like, Bellular is trying to solve a problem that at least I don't have.
That would help to solve the usability problem
RMT's
that
real
the game
money.
has right now.
Spending real money.
Because there's advertisements sort of flooding everywhere without stepping on anybody's toes. I suppose, as the saying goes, if you can't beat them, maybe give them a chair in the corner so that you don't have to look at them. For a quick bit of personal opinion here, because I do want to throw some personal opinion in here, I fundamentally do think that player-driven goods and services sectors are important parts of a virtual world. The issue really is that while hiring some muscle to protect your haulage ship in EVE Online, or maybe, do a hit on an EVE player who ganked you, that makes sense for an open world sandbox game. But World of Warcraft is a theme park MMO with very, very different goals.
Yeah.
And that's basically the issue. Having a goods sector is very easy to do right in a theme park MMO. Having a services sector is pretty easy to do in a sandbox, and I think a lot harder to do in a theme park MMO, while still keeping the core of things be uncorrupted in terms of the game's progression and rewards.
You can't have both, in my opinion.
And then magnify that 10x when WoW token exists.
Yes.
And because it's theme park versus
that's
sandbox.
The real cost.
Wait, I didn't listen to it. I drifted away into how PvP guys boost when
EVE Online, or maybe do a hit on an EVE player who ganked you. That makes sense for an open world sandbox game. But World of Warcraft is a theme park MMO with very, very different goals.
Yeah.
And that's basically the issue. Having a goods sector is very easy to do right in a theme park MMO. Having a services sector is pretty easy to do in a sandbox, and I think a lot harder to do in a theme park MMO, while still keeping the core of things be uncorrupted in terms of the game's progression and rewards.
You can't have both, in my opinion.
And then magnify that 10x when WoW token exists.
Yes.
And because it's theme park versus
that's
sandbox,
the real cost
there's a pretty
here.
big difference
It's
between
the WoW
token and Plex in EVE, which is its equivalent. Now, the next part is going to be difficult and costly, but it needs to happen. A complaint that we heard from a community owner is that Blizzard quite simply does not have enough support staff, and that the staff that they do have are not trained.
Well, they're incompetent. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. Like, how many times have you had a GM that didn't fucking know anything? And do you want to know why that happens? It's because, number one, their training is bad. Number two, there's turnover for GMs really fast. So you don't have people that are very well experienced in arcane issues. In this Cataclysm dungeon, like, oh, I had a ticket from this 3 years ago. I remember that. Also, they're low paid. So people that are more motivated to give more holistic support are not applying for those jobs because they're not being compensated properly. There's a lot of reasons why it happens. That's actually not. It is the GM's fault ultimately, but it's like dominoes, right? The GM is the last domino, so that's the one that you see. But you didn't see like the other 5 dominoes between like fucking the accounting division, the training division, the workplace management, the work-life balance, all the other ones. You're not seeing any more of those.
Yeah, the question is how much is the problem that it is not feasible, it's not profitable to do this business properly, or that's why sometimes I ask myself, when these things, when you see these things, like, are these people not getting paid because it's just not a profitable business and this is like the only thing they could do? Or is there so much money at the end of it, but it just doesn't go to the correct people? And I find it hard to believe that they just don't have enough money. Honestly, when I think about if they did everything correctly in WoW, at what level would WoW be right now? How many million subscribers would it have right now? I don't know. I feel like it would be quite a lot.
You see what I'm saying? Like those are the other reasons, and each domino is to some degree the same level of importance.
Blizzard needs to staff up on game masters and train them how to investigate and remove RMT.
Yeah.
These GMs also need to be active in chasing down bots because it's clear they're automating.
I mean, like, I don't know. When's the last time you saw or heard of a person getting banned for something, dude? I don't know. Like, okay, there was like the PvP wave ban. Okay, this is funny because a lot of PvPers got banned without doing anything wrong. But like that's some like automated bot banning people, and it wasn't even intentional, I think. But a lot of it at least wasn't intentional. But I mean, you can easily spot bots in this game. Like you can very easily find them. Writing a script to figure out bot behavior, that should be really not that hard. Like you would literally just buy a bot service, right? Like you would buy this software. You would see how it acts, and you would like basically not really reverse engineer it, but you would write a script to capture these the patterns that the botting software does, and you would easily be able to identify, basically almost all the bots using the software. It would be very easy, because the way a program acts is quite deterministic. I mean, I guess they could create better bots. It's like harder to figure out, but in general, I think the way the player, like imitating player gameplay, is really hard, and I think you would almost always find a way to spot out the bots compared to actual human beings. Like you can do a lot of things, right? It's clear. I don't think it's hard to figure it out. But yeah.
And engineered solutions aren't quite cutting it yet.
No, they suck.
I mean, trade chat for some has been unusable for months, if not years.
Bro, I remember like fucking back in Mists of Pandaria before they really got down on this at all. Like every single time that you would type into trade chat, that shit would get overlapped in a second by somebody linking one of the Mists of Pandaria challenge mode phoenixes, followed by Chinese letters in a website. Like, I'm telling you, man, like that's all trade chat was on KT. That's all it fucking was.
Boy, it's flooded with advertisements for boosts and the like, and they don't seem to have taken really any action on any of this. They've just let it lie. It's perhaps as if those designing the game are just not particularly concerned, or maybe they're being told to not budge in too much because WoW Token's doing well. Though that latter point is perhaps me just being a cynic. We also know that bans are essentially pointless right now. This is an important thing. Hardware IDs can be spoofed, and new accounts are extremely cheap.
I didn't know that part. That the hardware IDs can be spoofed. I didn't know. I don't know how to do that. I guess that might be one of the in also the in the boosting software that I was talking about that the communities use to hide account sharing. That might be it. I didn't know that was possible though. So,
to how much money can be made, right? I think some people see this even within the boosting that exists for World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade Classic. Blizzard needs to up their game on all levels to target bots.
Do you want me to show you? Do you want me to show you how to stop boosting? So we have a new NFT. We're going to mint a new NFT right here. Okay.
No, don't say NFTs.
And so we're going to go ahead, and this is time. And this is, let's just say money, right? Like whether this is gold or whatever. And the amount of money that you have to spend goes up like this. Let's actually just, I feel like it probably goes up. It probably goes up. I'm trying to think, like, because leveling, you don't make as much money, and then you start making more money once you're max level. So the problem here is that
this is a horrible graph.
This line right here, this line right here is the break-even point. This is the point where it becomes profitable to boost. Because if you are below this point, the money that you have to spend on a sub and on a game license and on potentially a boost in Burning Crusade is more than the money you will make with each bot. But the reason why botting is going to happen is because botters are getting banned above the break-even point. And if you're getting banned above the break-even point, making more money is only a matter of scale. And that's what's happening, is that they're not catching them in here. If you were catching them in here, they wouldn't be botting anymore. You would completely remove botting. You understand? Like, not completely, like 99% remove botting, because they can't make money off of it. You lose money botting. The reason...
I actually forgot about the part that I don't know how bad botting is and how many multi-boxes exist that are botting, but I just noticed if they ban them here, not only do they get the money, Blizzard makes some money off of them selling WoW tokens because they get the $5 extra, but on top they also get the initial investment of those botters, right? I mean, surely that's not that much though. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they can make this much money off of this. I don't know
why they're botting. Like this sounds like forehead, but really the reason why they're botting is because it makes money. So ban them before it makes money. Zach, you're missing the point. What flavor is this pie? This is a dog shit ass pie. It's the worst kind of pie. They know that, then their numbers gradually decline. Yeah, it depends, right? So like this is the reason why botting keeps happening. It's because Blizzard systems don't bot them before the botters hit their break-even point. It's that simple. Starting costs are actually cheaper, and there's room for profit is way easier to achieve. I'm sure that it is. And this is just simply an example, okay? Like, it's not accurate to a T. What if they're...
Wait, so you're saying that this graph is not accurate to a T? Okay. All right. Okay, guys, the graph is not fully accurate, okay? In case you didn't notice.
Boosting instead of leveling from the ground, well then that would increase this point right here. Yeah, this is an oversimplification of the issue, just to explain a simple idea. It's the theory of it.
Target RMT and continually nuke them. That's essentially that. Otherwise, the players of their game will continue to suffer, and the integrity of aspects of their gameplay will erode. Yeah. Honestly, that is most of it. Yeah. At least on the RMT and dark side. Yes. As for the game's design, they have a ton of work to do on rewards, on content, and on general gameplay. If more and more players are spending money to boost instead of engaging with the game properly, then the core design has essentially failed. It's failed as a game. We've been talking for a while, though, so let's wrap up this part. I don't want to put our video editors through any more punishment.
I don't care about that. We pay
There's
them just
boosting.
Fine.
What's wrong with it as an industry? What is right with it as an industry?
They're going to have to edit this whole thing.
And hopefully enough information to help you come away with this with just more of an understanding of what's actually going on. My personal hope is that when you see the next boosting advertisement in-game, you'll actually understand what's going on behind it. There is a multi-million-dollar market in your game. It's a market that makes the game worse for some, fun for...
Honestly, I've been in it for so long, but I've never noticed that Blizzard is making money off of us boosting. I never thought about it that way. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I'm not super smart, but still, I think it's not super obvious that we're like basically working for Blizzard when we're boosting. Kind of crazy.
For others, with many making gold.
Yeah, I would say like a market cap of 10 million a year for boosting. You can
put it in your CV, yeah. Worked at Blizzard Entertainment. You know how like they do it, like worked at this place on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, I worked at Blizzard Entertainment. What did you do? Well, you know, it's not. We didn't have a contract, but I did work for them. I'd say didn't really have a title,
including like Chinese market as well, which I don't know if they are. I think that's about fair. I do. I think that's about fair. Yeah, just thinking about like just this is my assumption.
Plenty of people getting achievements they didn't really earn that much, and a few people making a big fat stack of cash.
Yeah.
Although boosting does have its advantages to some, I think overall, in a way, it needs addressed. We need to work out where it fits in the game. And more important than anything else, the prevalence of pay to win needs to be sorted out.
Yeah.
It can make WoW feel like Korean shovelware. That's not what we want, because we love WoW and we want its integrity as a virtual world to remain. So that will be addressed. Look out.
Speaking of integrity, after I finish this video, we're going to talk about the new store mount.
Part 2. Now, if you have any further experiences with boosting...
Oh no, yeah, the store mount as well. It just came out, not like this. Oh, that's a whole other topic. Didn't they put like the Swift Spectral Tiger in China or something? What is going on there?
Let us know.
Let's finish the video.
A whole bunch of people reached out to us based on me and Matt chatting about just some cursory opinions on boosting on our stream. Perhaps this video will get a larger reach. So if you're adamantly against it, if you're for it, if you're in the middle, if you feel like we've not given you a fair shake of the stick, if you feel like there's other information we should know.
See, to me, this is what I do. This is how I look at things. Is that if it makes sense to me, then you telling me that that's not what's happening doesn't matter. See what I'm saying? So like any amount of evidence that is compiled with no real accountability of like what is the level of if I can trust this or not. Like how do I know if I can trust this? Why would I ever believe it? Like to me, I see stuff like this and it's obvious what's going on. Cynical, nothing wrong with it. Isn't it crazy that like even though I'm very cynical about this stuff, I'm usually right? Like I feel like I'm usually right about this stuff. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. It's not about being cynical. I think that it's about looking at things realistically and not letting people bullshit you. Like I'm not really much of a cynic in a lot of ways. I'm hopeful for some things because I have reason to be. I'm not hopeful for other things because I have reason not to be. That's what it comes down to. I try to be pragmatic. That's my goal.
Do let us know. So that's basically that. Thank you for watching. A massive thank you as well to all of the sources who reached out to us and just gave some time to help us understand this for our little investigation. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to chat. So that's that. Have a wonderful day. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
I a little bit got debated by the title, but
way better than a quick website. Just go to Squarespace. Problem solved. Links down below. Might go get you 10% off.
And the funny part is, the worst part that is funny and sad at the same time, there's probably going to be a guy watching this video and is going to create a boosting website on Squarespace. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Do you think it'll ever go away? Only if Blizzard wants it to. And I don't think boosting for gold that's farmed legitimately really should go away. I think that's fine. You didn't mention PvP boosting, which is weird considering how much of it is going on. That's because PvP boosting probably... the reason why probably doesn't talk as much about PvP boosting is that the amount of account sharing and PvP boosting, I'm assuming, is much higher than the amount of account sharing and PvE boosting, because in PvP, if you're doing 3v3, that player is a third of the group. But if you're doing a 20-man raid, they are, 5% of the group. So it makes less of an impact, and that's why I'm assuming they probably don't want to talk about that. It's because it's just so much closer tied to account sharing. PvP is likely letting someone use the account. Yeah, basically. Why is it Blizzard ban?
I don't know why people never buy in PvP they call it coaching when you how did it work? Coaching is when you play with somebody, but you do it for money, so it's not allowed, right? Like basically you're boosting it in 2v2 or 3v3. They call it coaching. But why don't they just buy coaching where the guy is in your ears and telling you what to press? Like, honestly, I think that's a really valuable thing, and you actually learn how to play because like he teaches you and tells you your mistakes. If they boost fees, spend that money on actual thing where they would learn to play the game, they wouldn't even need any of this. They do it. Some, yeah, okay. I guess some do, but I don't know. From what I hear, whenever I said coaching, they were like, "Oh no, we don't do coaching. That's not allowed here." No, my friend, we do only boosting for gold.
RMT sellers if they compete with the WoW token, because Blizzard is incompetent and they can't even ban breast milk thieves. So they needed to have California come in and do that for them. The company is completely mismanaged and it's run by clowns. Basically, Blizzard, it's like Amazon. Imagine there's a house that's on fire and the developers and the people that work there are monkeys, and the only thing that they have to put out the fire is gasoline. And that's pretty much what happens here. There you go. Boosting devalues the grind and prestige others put work for. If little Timmy wimps out his mama's credit card. Exactly. And I guess I completely agree. I think that all RMT should be banned. RMT is bad. Someone annoying, I feel like devalues the rare amounts in PvP ranks and other items. Yeah, that's because it does devalue them. Exactly. 100% been said already. I wouldn't mind boosting as much if it had its own section in Group Finder. Yeah, but why would you advertise in the boosting section of Group Finder? People, they're looking for new people to buy things. Most of the time, people just buy ahead of the curve once, for example. They would be advertising everywhere they possibly can, even if it is TOS, because they don't care about the TOS. That's why they're RMTing in the first place. I was boosting Challenge Mode Golds and WAD. I bought the boost for the raid. It's fine. And that's what people do, right? Is that, I made the joke for Burning Crusade, is that buy Burning Crusade, buy a 58 boost, buy gold on retail WoW, and then trade the gold for TBC gold on your server. Then use the TBC gold to buy runs through slave pens to get to level 70. And then after you're at level 70, then buy your gear off of the auction house so you can get invited into a GDKP raid. And then once you're inside of the GDKP raid with the gold that the items that you bought with gold, then now you're able to buy items in the GDKP raid and obtain your best in slot. After you obtain your best in slot and you've done all of that, then you want to buy your arena carries as well. And after you do everything else and you get your arena carries and your arena cap and your gear into GDKP, you can finally play the game. So, yeah.
I thought eventually he's going to say, then you start boosting, like an investment at the start, and then you can play the game. Yeah, I guess in TBC it's a lot more about parsing and having the best gear to do things. I don't know. Doesn't really excite me that much, that part of the game. Never was too interested in speed running things and with full gear. I don't know. You can quit. All right, boys. The stream went longer a bit than expected. I didn't expect the video to take this long. I guess I also talked in between and stuff. So